Robert F. Kennedy Jr., nephew of former President JFK, has officially announced his 2024 presidential bid. He will be running as a Democrat, trying to challenge the current president, Joe Biden. Now, RFK is a really interesting guy. He's a lot deeper than any other Democrat we've seen. Most of them are just very upfront liberals. They don't challenge their own party on anything, and they just kind of go along with whatever the current talking point is. They don't really mix it up much. They play it very safe. R.F. Kennedy is unlike any Democratic candidate we have seen for a very, very long time. He is arguably the only centrist running in the race right now. I want to be very clear before I get too far into this video. This is by no means an endorsement video for RFK. I don't think he should be president. I fundamentally disagree with him on almost every single social issue. He believes strongly in a lot of gun control. He supports abortion. He has immigration policies that don't exactly match my own. I'm not a big fan of most of his views on the world. He is clearly a liberal. That's what he is. But in today's modern world, he is a centrist because of how far both parties have moved to the left. A big thing about RFK that really makes him different is he is an anti-vaccine activist. That is not something you see often in a presidential candidate, let alone a Democratic presidential candidate. Some of his views are very, very conspiracy theory-esque, which generally falls into more of the Republican side of the aisle. He he doesn't fit the typical Democratic mold. Or yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying. He just doesn't fit the mold. He is the equivalent for the Democrats of Trump for the Republicans. He is the inverse of Trump, right? He's kind of an outsider. Not entirely, of course, because he does come from the Kennedy family. He has a lot of disagreements with his own family, and he has been ostracized by a lot of them, it seems, because of his anti-vaccine viewpoints. But from the normal Democratic view, he's an outsider. His own party does not support him. A lot of them strongly dislike him. They don't like his views on things. He actually challenges them. He actually makes them think a little bit, and they don't like that. Most Democrats, or Democrats that are elitists at least, they don't really like RFK. It's the same thing that Trump had when he was running. His own media didn't like him. Fox didn't really like him, right? They still don't really like him, it seems. And the other Republican candidates and Republican politicians, most of them were anti-Trump, and that's the same thing that's going on with RFK right now. They were anti-RFK. Now, RFK, again, I still don't support him, but I do think he would make a better candidate than any other Democrat. He is not someone that just goes along with whatever his party is preaching. He actually seems to have his own viewpoints on things, and that's interesting. It's different to me. And I like to see it. He is someone that as of right now, with my very little knowledge of him, I like as a person. He seems like a pretty good dude who actually thinks for himself, and that is very, very rare in today's political landscape. I'd still take Trump, DeSantis, or just about any Republican candidate over him, just because, as I said before, I strongly disagree with his social issues. But I do hope that he can shake up the Democratic primary a little bit. I hope he challenges Biden. He can make a big dent on Biden if he can split the party a little bit. He's already doing pretty well in the polling. He only announced his candidacy about a week ago, and he's already polling at 20-ish% here, 19%. That's it's not anything that's going to win you primary, of course. Like Biden is still up 43 points right here. But he is in a spot where he can divide the party a little bit, make Biden look bad. Hopefully, we see some debates. If Biden agrees to debate Kennedy, that would be great. He won't agree to it because it'll be really bad for Biden. It'll be bad in the presidential election when we get there. But Kennedy has an opportunity to really shake this up, and I think it's a good thing that guys like him are running today. He's been silenced for a long time because of his anti-vaccine standpoints, and now he's being a little bit more open. He's gotten out to the open and he's giving these speeches and he's gotten a lot of support. A lot of former Biden supporters that just have been very disappointed in what he's done so far, which is I believe just about everyone that voted for him. I don't think anybody actually likes Biden. I don't know if anybody ever actually liked Biden, but a lot of them are starting to get on the Kennedy train. I don't actually really want Kennedy to win the Democratic primary because I think he has a better shot of beating Trump than Biden does and ever will. But at the same time, I'd like to see him go out and win it because I'd rather see Kennedy in office than Biden in office. Of course, like Kennedy is by far the best Democrat candidate and probably will be the best one that we will see for the next 40 years. He is different, and I like that. I like candidates who don't fit the normal mold. He is kind of an outsider. She's still a Kennedy, so he's not an outsider. Don't get me wrong. He came from the system. He was born and raised into it. He comes from a political family, but he's not like your normal Democrat, and that's something good. I like people who think for themselves and actually challenge their own party. I don't like people who just like go along with whatever their party's doing. That's a big reason why I really like Trump. He's not just like a Republican. Trump is someone who's just for the people. He ran as a Republican because it's the party that's, for God, for the people. But he's not he's not tied to that label, just like RFK doesn't seem tied to the Democratic label. And that's good for the country. We need more people like him running. He's the type of Democrat that I don't just despise. Most of them I feel like are genuinely evil people. I don't think RFK is. I think he's not a super bright person on every issue. Again, abortion, that's super evil. But at the same time, I feel like he brings something new to the table. He brings something good. He brings his own point of view, and that's just so rare. It's so rare to see. And it's something that's really refreshing from a presidential candidate, someone that is open, honest. It's just good. Again, I'm not a RFK supporter. I disagree with him on like everything, but he's a genuine guy, and that's rare, especially from Democrats. So, yeah, hopefully he can shake this thing up and really divide the Democratic Party, and maybe he can be the leeway that will allow Trump to come in and swoop it up after he divides the Democrats. That would be absolutely amazing. But I'm going to wrap up this video on that note. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share the video. The only way we're going to take back this country is together. So, yeah, join the fight. Also, if you want to see more content, follow the Rumble. I post the same stuff there as I do on here, but I have to be careful with my words right now, and I'd like to grow the Rumble audience because, free speech platform. It's great. But yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna head out. So long. Peace out, and God bless y'all.